place like Iowa, I have to imagine that a game like this, performance like this, is what you were hoping for when you came here.
For sure. It's not just about like me getting the ball, but it's about the other guys getting the ball and seeing everybody else out there. Even the younger guys that got to go in at the game. I mean, it's very exciting to watch. We all work really hard, and that pays off eventually.
How good does a performance like this feel as an offense for you guys after maybe struggling through the first couple of games, getting to a point like this where you guys are able to really perform well?
I wouldn't say that we feel good about it, but there's a lot of room for improvement. Definitely don't want to hang our hat high on it and be like, oh, like we've arrived. Definitely just keep performing in practice because Coach Lester always says, like, if we can't make it happen in practice, we ain't making it happen in the game. So
how's it going to give you the confidence for what's to come in Big Ten play? It's the thick of the season coming up.
Just the scout team giving us a great look every day throughout the week. Just learning throughout film, just watching stuff like that, preparing.
Could you see something in Mark this week that made you believe that like this week was going to be different for him?
No, I think every week he shows up. I think our chemistry is getting better throughout the offense. That's all. I think he shows up every week. He comes out to play. There's no doubt in my mind that he's going to keep getting better.
Did you know they were going too early?
Sort of, a little bit. I don't know. They said we were going to call that play, the one that I had down the sideline. They said they were going to call it, but that's not always the case sometimes. So.
Obviously, you just got here, but to be a part of the history of Coach Ferentz, what does that really mean to you?
Man, that's legendary. I'm not gonna. That's really legendary. I'm proud of Coach. He's a great guy. He brings in a lot of good people. I'm just glad to be a part of it.
You haven't been here for long, but what was it about talking with Coach Ferentz that wanted you to be here?
I would say him and his staff are just true, genuine people. They're real professional. Everything is ran a certain way.
Is there anything that he taught you so far that you think you'll carry with you for the rest of your life?
I say the discipline aspect of just going throughout your day, making sure you got your stuff in line. Not only just for the day, but for the week, so that you can perform throughout the week.
Can you talk about maybe what a relief it was to see the offense working as well as it has, and how balanced it was?
I wouldn't say it was a relief. We've been working really hard throughout not only just this week of practice, but throughout. It started back in spring ball when we all kind of got here as a receiver group, and some guys came in during the summer. It's just, we're just trying to get better every week, that's all.
Maybe one thing to work on at least would be drops. It seems like that was maybe a theme by the receivers and the pass catchers today. Is that something that maybe just kind of gets in your head once a couple drops happen, that it gets in the head a little bit, or is it just kind of coincidence when you see a lot of them in a game like this?
That's just, sometimes it's a focus level. We just, when someone drops the ball or anything like that, it's just, we pat each other by, hey, just, get the next one, you know what I'm saying? It's a quick term memory. This game, you can't be dwelling on a drop. You know what I'm saying? Because the next play you might drop it again, or you might bust a play or something like that.
Is that another thing that is just worked on through chemistry with Mark, just getting used to maybe the speed of the ball or how it's coming in?
Yeah, just making sure we're locked in. During practice, like I said, if it's not gonna happen in practice, it's not gonna happen in the game.
Who's the leader there when things do go wrong and there are dropped passes?
Jacob Gill's definitely the leader. He's always there for us. Reese Vandersee does a good job, and Seth does a great job as well. Those are the three guys that kind of had the most experience here. They're doing a great job for us.
Last week Jacob said that the passing game needed to look itself in the mirror to figure out how to attack downfield a little bit more, and you guys certainly did that today. I guess what was the message from the receiver room or your guys' mantra this week that allowed you guys to have success today?
Actually, to be honest, whenever we came in from the Iowa State game, we weren't even worried about throwing the ball. We was worried about our perimeter blocking. I think we lost the game because the receivers, we didn't. I personally don't feel like I blocked well. That's just being straight honest. We weren't we got to throw the ball more. It was just we didn't block well. It just happened to fall tonight that we was passing the ball.
How fun is it to see Caden Weege out there on special teams, running those punts back?
I love watching Weege. He makes, I don't know how he gets through those little crevices and stuff. He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT at those, for sure.
And to see Mark, get that rushing touchdown seemed like he had a type of energy in that celebration that he hasn't had all year. What was different for him today, do you think?
Nothing was different. He shows up every day. He shows up every day at practice. You know what I'm saying? He's the first one in the building, last one out type of guy. Always making sure after practice, he's holding the receivers accountable, making sure we get extra throws and stuff. I wouldn't say that, he showed up different today. He shows up every day. He's very consistent. And just, we're just building our chemistry. That's why it looks a little better. We're just building our chemistry. It's the third game. We're going into the fourth. We're just trying to get in a rhythm.
How much better do you feel like you guys are now since the first week? Passing game didn't do anything.
Yeah, it feels good. Because, the motto that Coach Ferentz always talks about, and not only Coach Lester also, getting better every day. That's all. It just feels good because we're holding what we preach. You know what I'm saying?